Hello and welcome to Got Clutter, Get Organized, the conversation. I'm excited because we have returning guest Dr. Angela Chester. And of course, she is kicking off our conversations for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm always excited to have her returning. So, Dr. Angela, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, Janet. I love sharing with your audience. So thank you so much for allowing me to do so.
So, of course, as you're aware, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You are a breast cancer survivor. So, can you share with us your journey, but also your treatment? Because I know it's different for so many people, and I really want them to hear your story.
Of course. Thank you for the question. So I had stage 2B breast cancer. I was one of the folks that had to have chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation. Now, women will have, well, I shouldn't just say women, because men can also have breast cancer. You can have one of those things or all three of those things in whatever order your doctor deems appropriate. Again, mine happened to be chemotherapy, then surgery, and then radiation. It was something that I wouldn't wish upon anyone. It is very grueling. Breast cancer is unfortunately one of the cancers that does not allow for any vanity, if you will, in that the treatment that I received, one of the worst, called the Red Devil, it does just all kinds of things to your skin. You lose your hair. It makes you sick before it makes you better. But I have to say, I had an amazing oncology team, both my oncologist, my surgical oncologist, as well as my plastic surgery teams. They did a great job, and I don't wish cancer upon anyone. But if you have to go through the ordeal, then it is a little better if you have an amazing team. Radiology as well. They're at the end of it, so it's kind of a different experience with them because now you feel as though you're cancer free. So they did a great job as well.
So, during this process, Dr. Angela, how did you necessarily maybe stay organized or just felt like you were in control? Like, were there things that you knew you had to basically relinquish control of, but were there things that made you feel like, you know what, I can do this, and this is what I am going to do on your journey to really getting better and healing?
Oh my goodness, that is such a great question because there are moments where you feel like you are not in control because you are absolutely not in control. So with me, if you would think of a typical calendar month, you have the first week for easy math. The first week is treatment week. And you are feeling okay before treatment, you have treatment. You start to decline in how good you are feeling. Week number 2, you don't feel well at all. Week number 3, you're starting to feel better. Week number 4, you're starting to feel a little more like yourself. Sick, but still more like yourself. And it just repeats that cycle for however long you have to have your chemotherapy. So what I tried to do on the weeks where I felt okay, where I could go to the store and do a little bit of work and all of that, to do those things which would help keep my family as organized as possible. Even if that included meal prep, writing out notes, all of those things to make sure that everyone stayed on track.
So my question also is, because, and I know your story is the importance of really the exams, because I know, and at least this is what I remember, you were going back and forth with your physician because you really wanted to have, different types of exams and just really kind of being an advocate for yourself and making time for that. Because I think sometimes we feel like we're so busy and we have the appointment scheduled, then we have to reschedule it, we cancel it. So, and I just wanted you to kind of share that.
Absolutely. And you're right. One of the best things that I can tell people to do is please be an advocate for yourself. I found my lump myself thanks to learning how to do self exams in high school health class. Because of that, I did them every month moving forward from that age. I found my lump a little later in my life. I was in my 30s when I found it, which is not the typical age of dealing with breast cancer. So unfortunately, my doctor was not in that day, and there was a stand-in doctor, still within the practice, but a different doctor. And I was told I was too young. It couldn't possibly be breast cancer. And I politely asked, could I please get a second, a third, someone else's opinion, because the nurse practitioner agrees with me there's something there. And I'm just really thankful that throughout the journey, that was the only time that I really had that pushback or that hesitancy to allow me to move forward with treatment. They scheduled the biopsy, confirmed cancer, and we moved forward successfully through my treatment plan from there. But unfortunately, so many people do not have the same experience. A woman that we found out on the same day, we ended up on the same cycle. So we kind of became pink friends, if you will. And her experience is far different than my experience, and not in a pleasant way. So I really have to tell everyone to please advocate for yourself. Make sure that you read and consume as much information as you can. And if you feel that your team is not doing things in your best interest, it's okay to ask for that second opinion.
And it's nice the way you said a team, because I think sometimes we just think of them as physicians, doctors, and specialists, but they are part of your healthcare team on your journey to healing. And another question I wanted to ask with you, you got the healthcare team. So how did friends, family, I know you're very active within your church, how did that help you on your journey as well?
You know, I say be as open and honest with the people that are closest to you as much as possible. Now, of course, you might not want to share everything with your blabbermouth friend or sibling or anything like that. But the person that you feel closest to, that you can trust your thoughts with, share those things with them. Because if we're honest, anyone going through a cancer ordeal is frightened. They're scared. Now, don't get me wrong. My faith did not waver in that I knew I was going to be okay. But the reality is that when you hear that you have the big C, you don't want that news, but you are glad that now you know what's wrong with you. So keeping them informed, my immediate family, I call them my co-survivors because they went through this with me. Other people that were in my circle groups, like you said, my church group, my girlfriend groups, my female friend groups, and all of that, everyone was as supportive as they could be. But what I really loved is that the ones who could not be supportive had the courage to say, I don't know what to do, and I might not call you for a little while because I don't know what to say. But when you're able to at least go shopping again, let me know, and I'm going to be the first one to take you out. And I appreciated that because that's the type of person that they are, right? But being open and honest to me is one of the best things that you can be both ways.
That is so true. I mean, I didn't have cancer, but I did have to have major surgery. And it was really nice when the doctor finally let me know what my options were. And I picked up the phone and I called my best friend and I told her, I said, this is not something I wanted to do. And I was scared because as a single woman, it's like, well, this is major surgery. And how is this going to happen? How is that going to happen? And just to hear her say, oh, well, I already had plans. I was going to take off and take care of you anyway.
Oh.
And it was like, wow.
Yes.
Wow. So like you said, you don't have to tell everybody, but sometimes you just need somebody because that can help you, give you the rest you need, take a lot of the weight off your shoulders. So thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Angela.
Absolutely.
So, do you have a message, I guess, you always have a message of inspiration, hope. Well, that's first of all, I don't even know, do you? You always have. Because I still remember when we were at Periscope and you would do those at least 2 or 3 times. Oh, my goodness. I love those.
Yes.
Getting those notifications like, oh, she's on. Wait a minute. Let me stop. Especially the midday ones. But
Oh my
some
goodness.
inspiration, some hope, just for someone who may be just in the middle. They've already got the diagnosis. They haven't, because I know I see some people ring the bell. They haven't done that yet, but just a little bit of motive inspiration.
Absolutely. And oh my goodness, I loved doing Periscopes. I am so sorry that Periscope went away. That was one of my favorite platforms in all the world. So if anyone is listening from Periscope, please, I'm so sorry that you guys are gone. Anyway, one of the things that really encouraged me was charting where I was in the process. So knowing where you're starting, talking to your teams and finding out like what are good numbers, what are we looking for, and your medical teams are usually pretty good at giving you that information, especially if you ask for it. So if there's something that you're looking for, stay on target with that as best as you can. If you are a graphs or a diagram or a whiteboard type of person, me, then do those things, and that will really help you along on the journey so that you can see where you were, where you are, and where you need to be. Do a little countdown. Usually you know how many treatments you have to have, what the target date is going to be, all of those things, and celebrate each one of those wins. We're done with chemo. Yay! Surgery is next. I'm alive. Yay. Radiation is next. Last one. Yay. And when you ring that bell, you are going to feel like you have truly accomplished so much because you really would have documented this journey that you have been on. And it is one that we don't wish to be on, but having survived all of that, you will find that you really are a much better person on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dr. Angela, I could talk to you like for hours.
I know.
But I wanted you to tell to those listening and watching where they can connect with you. But also, you have a Hope and Healing, a 31-day devotional. And I want you to talk to them about that as well. Share the information.
Thank you. Yes. So I decided to put a devotional together. It's a simple, quick little book. I don't believe in dragging stuff out if at all possible. So it's something that you would start your day with, some bit of inspiration, encouragement to keep you connected and grounded. And it is 31 days. You can start anywhere within the calendar month. But if you start on the 1st, it's always a beautiful thing, and you can repeat and see where you are from there. If anyone wants to connect with me, please visit my website at drangela.chester.com, drangela.chester.com.
And of course, I will have all of her links in the show page so you can connect with her directly. And as always, Dr. Angela, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule just to be with us and to give us some inspiration and encouragement.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Janet.